Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First thing we'll do is call to order. Second will be routine matters. Number one is approved minutes of the executive and regular session of the November 9th, 2020 meeting.
So moved.
Becky makes a motion. Richard seconds. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Bubba, Erica.
Yes.
To approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Ron makes a motion. Dustin seconds. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Bubba, Erica.
Yes.
Approve claims to date.
Make a motion to approve claims to date.
Ron makes a motion.
I'll second. Oh, go ahead.
I'll second.
Dustin seconds. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Bubba, Erica.
Yes.
Number 4, approval. Okay. We have some people that might show up, but basketball coach Will Cantrell asked him to stop by. If he stops in, we're going to have him just introduce himself to the board. So if you see Will and I stop it, that's what we're doing. Number 4, approval of personnel and ECA recommendations.
So moved.
Hang on, I've got to go through them.
Oh,
We're gonna go through them.
okay.
Let one of them talk.
Oh,
He's here. Kyle England, resignation from SHS boys track coach. Don Smith, resignation from SCS deputy treasurer and payroll clerk. Wessa Shockey, new hire SMS custodian. Ernest Goad, new hire SHS custodian. Sarah Kerr, new hire SHS custodian. Bonnie Jarvis, new hire SHS attendance clerk. Andrea Pitcock, new hire counselor, BSE SMS. Cameron Smith, JV boys basketball coach. Mackenzie Underwood, volunteer middle school girls basketball coach. Curtis Walters, volunteer middle school wrestling coach. Whitney Burris, maternity leave. Kayla Ponder, maternity leave. Last but not least, Blair Thompson from interim head football coach to head football coach. Blair, would you like to address the crowd and the board?
Well, do you want to do the motion stuff first?
Thank you guys for,
Blair, come up here.
Yeah, they should have to do the motion first because they haven't been
We can-
approved. We haven't approved it yet. I know, do
We
you
want
want?
to see you.
that's good right here. All right. Just want to thank you guys for giving me the faith, excuse me, to having me this season. It was a very unique season to say the least. This is obviously, I think everybody knows what this job means to me. I've wanted this job since I was 12 years old, and I waited a long time to get it. And, you know, this season, with the COVID situation, we weren't even sure we were going to get to play a game, and we got to play all our games except for the 2 county games, which is really interesting. But you know, we came up 1 game short in the conference. We came up 1 game short in the sectional championship, but we did a lot of things this season that we haven't done in a long time. So I think we know now where the bar is set and what we want to do, and want to bring championships back to Salem. And I feel like we have 21 seniors coming back next year, so we're excited about the opportunity that we have. And And I just want to thank my kids and my coaches. I have a few of my assistant coaches here tonight, and you know, it was they didn't know what they were going to take on when the summer started with all the things that we had to put in place, and just really excited, especially our seniors. You know, they've ran one offense since they were in 3rd grade, and we put a new one in 11 days. So obviously, the first 2 games we weren't really sure where we were headed, and our seniors really kind of buckled down and did great things for us. So again, I appreciate it, and look forward to lots of seasons as a Salem Lions head football coach.
I want to bring up, of course, you had a great season. Congratulations, and very, very good. But also, we want to talk about real quick, through the summer with practices and then on into the games, you know, one game at a time you had to take, but you were COVID-free, is that correct?
Yeah, we spent the entire summer COVID-free, and then entire fall COVID-free, and you know, we can't, you know, Mallory Myers, our trainer, she was the one that put everything, her and Coach Whedon obviously were the one that put the plan in place, and you know, she was on top of us, you know, every day to make sure that we were doing it. You know, it's kind of hard to keep 62 boys doing everything they're supposed to do, but our kids knew, and like again, our seniors knew what we had a chance to be really good this season, and they knew what to expect, and you know, they didn't go eat in large groups. They went home and they ate and got things to go, and you know, we didn't have our locker room until school. You know, even when school started, you know, we couldn't even use our locker room because of the situation, and the boys had to come dressed, leave dressed. You know, coaches and I had to sanitize every helmet and every shoulder pad and every pad that we had, and but you know, we were just really blessed to play the game that we all love and the kids love, and you know, I'm thankful that you know, you guys allowed it, and the health department allowed us to do that this season, because you know, I think everybody really needed some entertainment, and it's, you know, I said it before, you can play basketball, volleyball, soccer, or you can run. You know, I don't like to do that much for the rest of your life, you know. But as far as football goes, there's no rec leagues for football, and so these seniors would never had a chance to play this game again for the rest of their life, and I'm really thankful that they had an opportunity to do that.
Thank you. Great
Thank
job.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Dustin makes a motion.
I'll second.
Becky seconds. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Erica, Bubba,
Yes.
Yeah.
donations. Consider approval of a donation to Brady Shrum Elementary for $150 from the Disciple Women. Number 6, consider approval of a donation from Donors Choose organization for Mrs. McKinley's classroom. Number 7, consider approval of a donation to Salem Middle School for $100 from Christian Women's Fellowship. Number 8, consider approval of a donation to Salem Middle School for $25 from Dowling Family Photos. Number 9, consider approval of a donation to Salem Middle School for supplies for the students from Walmart. Consider approval of a donation to Salem High School Athletic Department for $1,000 from First Harrison Bank. Number 11, consider approval of a donation to Salem High School Counseling Department for $150 from the Disciple Women of Christian Women Fellowship.
Make a motion to approve those generous donations.
Ron makes the motion.
I'll second.
Becky seconds. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Erica, Bubba,
Yeah.
comments from the audience. Do you have anybody signed up?
Actually, I forgot to bring the board.
Anybody have anything? Anything at all? Board members, any questions, concerns? Mr. Scott? Online's going great. Kevin? Jennifer?
On the agenda.
You're on the agenda, so, all right. Nothing else? Bonnie? Aaron? JD?
Good, everyone?
All right, we're moving on. Community support in the business awards.
Mr. Bennett's going to take the lead on this. We've done our best to keep this one quiet, and we'll explain why.
So we started presenting awards to businesses that have made great contributions to the school system. And this one, without a doubt, has made a great contribution to Salem Community Schools in many different ways. And we would like to recognize Becky White and WSLM.
I didn't see this one coming. I'm sorry, I'm so nervous.
She's nervous now.
I'm not usually on this end.
Feel like I'm wielding power using your phone.
All the things you could post.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Don't forget your phone.
Don't forget your
Oh,
phone.
your phone.
Or your husband wants
Not to excuse us, I know we put on the agenda, it would kind of spoil the surprise. Having just a little bit of a background in radio, there are no days off for anyone that is in radio. So, what Becky and her family have done, not just for our school system, but for this entire community, day in and day out, 365, it's truly impressive. So, we appreciate you. I know that plaque pales in comparison to the things you learned to thank you for all of our hard work that you use in our school.
Thank you.
Now I get to introduce a rock star. Student who's going to talk about Brady Shrub Elementary. And what we ask all of our schools to do the first semester is talk about some of the positive things that are happening in your school. I call it the fluffy part, the things forward component. And in the second semester, we'll get into some of the data presentations. And I know people like Dr. Thurston really like the data. Some people really like the fluffy. So we try to get all angles covered. Without any further ado, I turn it over to Ms. Wood.
Thank you for,
Yeah, you're good. You don't go through this.
thank you for those words. Number one, I don't know if a rock star would be what I would put on my list, but I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And also for the opportunity to speak with the board today and talk about our semester and how things have gone at the elementary school. We bear the luxury, or the honor, I guess I should say, of being able to look back at a whole semester and talk and reflect on what we've done from the beginning to now. So while I do a little bit of that and look back, I wanted to give you an opportunity to look at something. If you happen to have your own phone or your own device, I utilized the website that I think had been talked about in prior months at the board meeting. And we put up a link under the Brady Shrum Elementary live feed, and it's a bit.ly link, and that allows you to see some of the images about what we're going to talk about here in the next few minutes. But first off, while you're looking for that under your live feed, you'll go to Brady Shrum Elementary under the Salem Schools main page, and then it's the first link under the live feed that allows you to look at that with me as we talk. So in August, obviously we started out a little bit later, but we decided this year to bring in the mascot for our students, and you might have seen that along with some of the Welcome to the Pride images that we put out. And we allowed our parents to then have their children take their picture being the I in Pride. And we hope to implement that as we go through the next couple of years, because that gives you a memento to have as a parent, making sure that they are starting to feel part of the community from a very early age, as we want to build that as they go through the elementary school. As we moved into the other months, you might have seen some of the things we put out on social media. If you're not familiar, please make sure you're following along with us on Twitter and also on Facebook. We try to make sure we highlight as many things as we can, even though we know that there's not any way to talk about all the good things that we see every single day inside of our classrooms. So with that end, I do want to make sure I thank all of our teachers, all of our staff, everyone that has done everything that they have in order for us to get to December. Without being too emotive, I guess is the best word for us to say, It's been a very heavy semester, and I think everybody has felt that across the board, from inside the classroom to outside the classroom. But our teachers have been our strong point, and they have led us through with a lot of flexibility and a willingness to meet kids where they are, and so I can't thank them enough for everything that they've done. We tried to give them little perks here and there. We brought in a food truck one day, and they got an opportunity to do that. For the kids, we put Belle and the Beast up on the roof. If you didn't happen to see that, there's some images on that link as well. And then we even brought Belle and the Beast inside the building. The kindergartners lost their minds. There just happened to be an activity that day that Miss Berry was performing a mystery inside of her class. So we made fake fingerprints of the Beast, and we left chocolate all over the Beast outfit so they could see who stole the cookies. But we really played it up to make it part of the whole school day, not just on the roof that morning. Other things, we had a DJ. Ms. Caldwell graciously offered to let our teachers provide shout-outs and dedication songs one morning, and then she decided to do that for a full week, and so we had some really nice sentiments that were made. One of those to Miss Gwaltney, because of the loss of Miss Gwaltney this year. That was a lot. But we really, excuse me. Like I said, kind of heavy. But it was a lot for us to be able to bring together and do those things. We had a Halloween costume party that we did online, completely virtual, and we were able to highlight those kids' pictures, and I think that was a way for us to find some joy, even though we were not in school at that time. Other things, we did a jump rope battle at lunch one day, just little things that we brought in every single day to bring in that Fins Up, Fins Forward, which then led us into December. And in December, if you have not gotten an opportunity yet to drive by the elementary school, we are nearly finished. We're not quite done. Nearly finished getting our setup for Thursday. We have a holiday light drive-through that we'll be sponsoring, and we'll be providing free books as students go through, and you'll also have an opportunity to get a treat. Those will last as long as we have the supplies, I guess I should say. I don't know how many people we'll have, but if you don't have an opportunity to go on Thursday evening, just driving by the building, we add a little bit every day. Today, Mr. Gorman and the crew added a few more things, so everything that you get to see builds on itself. And again, thanking Mr. Gorman, thanking his crew. They've been phenomenal. And we have one little thing with the transportation office that they're going to try to help us with the surprise on Thursday. Other things we've done this month, we did holiday readings on Facebook, and each of our office staff members have been providing a holiday story, and that's been nice to see some joy and get some feedback that that's been meaningful for students as well. And Scholastic has offered us to be able to do that. So I think that's about it on my list. I do want to mention that tonight's reading is on Espanol. We have a collaboration with the high school, and our Spanish teacher, Miss Nail, is going to read Twas Noche Buena, and they're going to read something in Spanish as well. So we thought that was a nice opportunity for our Spanish-speaking families to also be part of our community in the holiday readings. Let's see here. One last thing that I want to mention to make sure any families that are listening, if they haven't taken advantage of it, and that is we offer free thermometers, digital thermometers. We offered up plenty for our whole student body, and we only have given out about 200, so we have plenty more. If you register, you can get yourself a free digital thermometer and keep your family able to monitor those things over the winter. But I think that's about it, unless there's any questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't use the word rock star like that. Jim has done a phenomenal job taking over a building late in the game, and is really creating such an impressive, positive climate and culture. I look forward to seeing their display. I think I scared Mr. Gorman today when he came over. We have a few items that we could things like that are what ties. So thank you for all the hard work you're doing.
Well, can I add a little to that? We were driving around looking at Christmas lights, and I had no idea that the elementary school was lit up, and we drove by, And it was just like, I felt like Mary and Joseph, I just saw that star. We just sat in awe, because I think it represented, and I guess it showed our children and our community that we care, and we want our children to be there, and we're here for you. I guess it was just such a, to me, it spoke a million words, just seeing those lights and seeing that the time that it took to put the lights up, and the love that it took to do that. It was very much emotional and very much moving, and I say that if anybody has not drove by the elementary school, please do that, and you'll feel that same feeling. I believe it's contagious for sure. It was a great feeling, and she is a rock star. I agree. Keep up the good work.
You're doing a great job, Jennifer, all the way from the time that the school started, when you had the flyover and the dancing in the parking lot, to everything else you're doing. And each and every one that's here is doing a great job in our school.
Absolutely.
We know it's tough, and we're here to support you. We appreciate everything that you guys do. Any other comments? Bubba or Erica, any comments?
I miss all you guys.
The meeting isn't over yet. I guess. We did find out that Mr. Acton is that guy where you drive around and they have all the blow-ups in their yard and stuff. He donated some to the elementary, so.
Who's that guy?
My wife says I can't buy it.
Before Dr. Thurston gets a little bit nervous, I will let you know that we have turned down the thermostat to make sure we counteract the electricity.
You need any sweaters or sweatshirts?
We figured the more lights we put on, the colder it gets inside the building. So we've been taking care of that on the daily.
I just want to reassure everyone that when the students return, we will.
That's good stuff. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Action items, number 12. Before we get a motion on this, I'm going to read it, then Mr. Acton and Mr. Thurston can talk. Yeah, I feel like this is a huge win for our non-certified. And this board's done a lot of stuff for the school in their 4 to 8 years that they've served. So consider approval of the updated non-certified personnel policy.
So we gave it for reading and discussion last time with the board. We wanted to make sure we got all the I's dotted and T's crossed. So what we took a survey of our non-certified staff to see if they would have interest in creating a sick bank, which is a sick bank for certified staff. This would basically create a sick bank to use for non-certified staff as well. We're not able to implement it this year, but the goal is to have it up and running by the fall of 2021. And 99.9% of the updates, Mr. Minton had already worked on adding this next component. I think it's a great addition for everybody in the Salem Community Schools. So we would ask for your consideration of approving the updated non-certified personnel policy, which would now include the creation of a sick bank.
So moved.
Becky makes the motion. Richard seconds. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Erica, Bubba? Yes.
Yes.
I feel that's a huge win for our non-certified staff, as also in the health insurance premium that was absorbed by the corporation this year as well. Items from the staff. Any questions, concerns? Dates, dates? Pass on that. Non-action items. New board business. Bubba, Erica? Superintendent's report.
Our superintendent's report is a special one this time. We have 4 really amazing people that dedicated a large part of their lives to serving Salem Community Schools in this community. And this is their last official meeting as a Salem Community School Board member. Well, I hope we don't have the birds again, but I'm not even supposed to, I apologize. But you know, I don't know if you really understand that serving on the Salem Community School Board is, there's not a stipend that goes with it. They're doing it for free, they're doing it for love for the school and the community, and trying to make Salem the best possible. So, we have 4 outgoing board members. Each of us are going to take a board member. We have a couple of these presentations we'll do virtually tonight, but we will get all the hardware to them. But I'll give everybody kind of a heads up before we will go Brent, Ken, myself, and Ryan will go video.
Becky, why do I keep saying Becky? Erica,
I'm in
Bubba,
trouble.
can you still hear us? Okay.
The board member that I'm recognizing tonight is Erica Garlow. Erica has served on the board from 2013 to 2020. So with our deep appreciation for the 8 years of outstanding leadership and service, we thank you, Erica, for all that you've done for Salem schools and for the Salem students.
Thank you.
You have anything you'd like to say, Erica?
And I know we have a lot of good things at Salem School, and I know that our future is just going to look really bright. We just got to stay, we work together, and we have a great school. I'll miss everything.
We appreciate you. To the new board members, Erica is our policy specialist, so one of you is going to have to become a policy specialist.
Pleasure tonight to recognize Ms. Kennigas as the outgoing board member. Ron's been with the board from 2016 to the present. This year, I've been, do I need to speak up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I can do that. Central office, this is my 30th year. And probably about 45 to take it all in. It's probably, what do you say, that's enough, Mr. Oakland? 45 years? Yeah, I don't think so. Been around many boards, many board members. Some are more memorable than others. Say without hesitation, I can say without hesitation that you'll be one of the more memorable ones, Mr. Hennigan. And it's been a pleasure working with you, and a good experience, and hope to see you around town.
I have the honor of recognizing Mr. Dustin Davidson. Dustin is one of the first people I met when we had the ceremony to introduce myself to Salem, and he's one of the first people I got to meet. And what struck me immediately was his genuine care, concern about our family, concerned about Salem schools, and his intent I know from the moment he took on as a board member, to do everything he could to make Salem the very best he could be. He was put in a challenging position to take over in midterm, and then, by the way, hey, help pick a superintendent, and I'm sorry, you picked crazy, but to be in that position and have to go, 100 miles an hour from day one speaks a lot about his skill set, but his commitment to Salem speaks everything you need to know about his character. So without any further ado, thank you for all you have done and all you're going to continue to do for Salem in this community. Mr. Dustin Davidson.
Then I get Bubba. Bubba, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm a little nervous now that you're doing the presentation.
So we give Bubba a gavel because he's been president prior and board member 2013 to 2020. Some of the other things Bubba's done is 25 plus years on the radio, 25 plus years coaching in our rec leagues, 10 years as our rec director for, well, he does softball, baseball, he's done football. Many occasions. He's helped us start the alumni group, which helps pay for a lot of the football stuff. Gave vehicles, donated vehicles with Steve to the football team and basically anybody that needs anything. Yeah, you're going to be missed. We appreciate you. We hope you get feeling better. Becky, do you have? I know you didn't want to cry, but. Yeah, we really hate that you couldn't be here tonight. Blair got to accept the head coach and get rid of the interim tag that we've heard about for 3 months now. So I'm sad that you couldn't get here to give that to him. But what would you like to say, Bob?
Well, I'd just like to thank everybody for the opportunity. I appreciate the public's faith in me to have a couple terms on the board. I think anytime that you serve in a public role, you always want to leave things better than you found it. And I feel like Eric and I come onto the board 8 years ago, and there's some dissension amongst the board, but it was a great board. We had some great people on the board the entire time I've served, just like there is now, and I think we've got great people coming onto the board. The one thing I will say, though, is I'd like to see more people at the meetings, and I hope that's something that I can continue to come to meetings and just be a part of it. When things go bad, it's easy to get on social media and hammer the school board. I'd just like to see more public input, more people come to the meetings and actually be involved in what's going on in the school, instead of, getting on social media and bashing the board all the time. It's definitely a commitment. It's a thankless job. Nobody's doing it for the pay. We're doing it because we care about kids. And I think that you know, our board has done a lot of great things. I think our board's headed in the right direction, and I just appreciate the opportunity to serve on the board, and appreciate everything and all the kind words.
We appreciate you. You want to hold this one up? Bubs, they want my picture because it looks better, I think.
And yeah, I got the face for radio. That's why I do radio running on TV. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yep, we appreciate you, Bub. Move on to positive praises. Or are you done with the superintendent?
Phil let me lead off on the positive praises. I had just a handful, if you'll humor me. One, Coach Thompson, congratulations from one football coach to another. Congratulations, you have earned this shot. Go take it, run with it, chase down your dream. Now go make a lot of dreams come true for a lot of boys. Congratulations, young man. To this board, that this is the last time, whether in person or virtual, we'll kind of all be together. I want to thank you. I'll give a little note to each of you, but thank you for your service, but also for your trust in me, and it will never be forgotten. So thank you to each of you for what you've done for Salem and giving me this opportunity. So I can publicly say this now. I want to thank our administration, everyone that's at the superintendent's office. They're putting up with me and some interesting times, and they are pitching in more than I ever wanted them to have to, and it means the world to me. So thank you guys and gals, and I know Jana watches me more than she thinks. I know she watches me, and she talks with my wife all the time to make sure I'm behaving, and I appreciate all of them for keeping me on track and keeping me standing right now, so thank you guys. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to the board. Last thing to our entire community. Man, this has been a hard, as Ms. Lawyer said, a heavy semester. We thank you for your patience and your support. I wish I could snap my fingers and have COVID gone, and we could be in person and doing everything we want to do, and that day is going to come. But your continued faith in us, and as we try to navigate as COVID changes and as guidance changes, and sometimes that guidance changes by the hour, we appreciate you and your support and your ability to pivot. When school closes and we have to go remote, it impacts everybody. I'm a dad, so when my son's pre-K closed, that impacts our family. So I don't have easy answers. I hope that we can get rid of this pandemic as quick as possible, and we can continue to do the great things that we do at Salem Community Schools. But we wouldn't have a shot if it wasn't for the support of the families and parents. And I don't want to leave this group out. We also wouldn't have a shot if we didn't have some of the most amazing teachers and administrators anywhere in the state. They have been busting their tail under really adverse conditions. And right now, if you're in education, you can't be right. There's always some way or somewhere we could do it better. So for all of the Salem Community Schools educators, top to bottom, everybody, thank you for all you are doing. And your efforts are not going unnoticed. And I'll write each of you a check for $1 million. That'll bounce. But thank you so much for everything you're doing. So I'm going to pass on my positive praises to Rodney.
my positive, I got a microphone. Positive praise is Reese McCoskey, who just was all-state football player, and I got blessed. I left radio this year that Becky let me do for 10 plus years to go help Blair and stand on top of the press box in football. And I would tell people before the game, I would say, Reese, you ready? Yeah. He didn't. I mean, he was as cool as a cucumber. The kid is a great kid. Blair's 4.2 GPA. That's a big deal. To got accepted by. Yep. Huge deal. Huge accomplishment for a kid that just goes out and busts his tail. Not just on the football field, but in the classroom, now on the basketball court. Great accomplishment. And thanks for mentoring. I didn't tell you, you coached at Butler. I told Blair. Mr.
That's awesome. You're gonna play for Butler. That's awesome.
Pass on. Ron?
As we talked about, this is the last meeting for 4 of us. It's a bittersweet moment. It's been a quick 4 years. I want to start out just real quick. Want to thank the citizens of Salem for entrusting myself and the 3 others the last 4 years, and a couple of them for the last 8 years. I would say I've served on different roles within the community. Had the pleasure of doing that over the years, city council and so forth. But this by far, if you choose to do it, and this is more towards the incoming board members. First off, congratulations. Second thing is get ready to work, because I'm telling you, you will never have worked so hard for no pay, probably in your lives. This is a humble responsibility. If you think about the number of lives that you touch by your decisions, there's not a bigger position in the community and what's involved, and that's the effective education of our kids. This is a role that's a little unique in the sense that we're here for the kids, and we absolutely are, but we also need to simultaneously protect the taxpayer while we're doing that. So please continue to do that. And I would say that one other thing, part of the bittersweet part of this is I've gained some relationships over the last 4 years, and honestly, I've lost a few based upon some of my decisions. But if you're going to do this job and you're going to do it right, it's a lot of homework, and just know that it's kind of like being a ref. It's a thankless position. So just do the right thing, vote your conscience. Sometimes you're going to stand alone, and if so, just be ready to deal with the consequences. But congrats. Thanks to everyone here. We've not always agreed, but I think we part as friends. And Becky, I'm sure you'll miss me. So that's all I had to say. Thanks.
I'll give a positive. I will miss you, Ron. I think that, that the 4 have brought so much to the table. I feel like we have made a lot of ground. We made a lot of coverage. And I feel like with that, we had a lot of diversity, but also there was a lot of everybody seeing it from a different point of view, which was a good thing, and you want that in a board. You don't want everybody thinking the same. We brought challenges to the table. I feel like our foundation, we hired a new superintendent that for hours and hours and hours, we tried to decide on making the right decision, and we knew that was going to be a foundation that was going to be laid for Salem School Corporation, and the seeds that were planted, and having that superintendent would grow, and then of course we know that we got it right. We got a great superintendent, and we're very proud of him, and he showed his true colors. And let's be honest, the first week, he could have ran, and we did try to shut down the city to make sure he couldn't get out, but anyway, so he's been, in all seriousness, he's a huge blessing for us. So I know you guys, and I can't say thank you guys enough for your guidance. Any questions that I've had to answer, especially Erica and Bubba, they were on when I came in, and they made me feel like I had some good questions at times and didn't make me feel silly. Ron, it was a pleasure jumping on with you, and you and I both getting our feet wet, and then we picked Dustin to be with us, and so happy, and Dustin brought so much to the table too, and I just can't say enough good positive things on that. But I do want you four to know that, you know, you were there with us, we laid the foundation, and now we'll just keep building and building and building, and all those good deeds and all those good works that you have put into this board, you know, we'll continue on, and we thank you and respect you for all that you put into this board. So those are the good happiness, and it is a good positive, and we got the new board members, we're excited about them, and not to be too scared, guys. Maybe be a little, but we do have good leadership, and Kim and Brent have done a fantastic job, and so I can't leave them out. They kept us under control. But real quick, I do want to say that I got a chance to sit in with Jill Little's class this week, and it was amazing. I was so impressed, and I know that that was just one of the classrooms that go on every day. But as far as the students behaving, that as far as her with the control of the students and the interaction, the virtual, I was so impressed. I'm so happy that it's such a, I mean, no, it's not the ideal situation, and not hugging and not, you know, having that one-on-one situation is the best. We know that. But this virtual thing is a good thing, and I was so impressed with that, and it was so so interactive, and so I was so happy about that. I also told about the lights with Jen Lawyer. I think that anybody please drive around and see the lights at the Brady Shrum Elementary School. Hats off to them, and Matt Gorman for doing that, and all of the hard work that everybody put to that. So I've got a lot of great praise, but anyway, so I think we're moving on. We're doing great things, and I think it's good positive.
I'd like to say a few things. I just want to thank the board for choosing me to fill the vacancy. It's been an honor to serve with you and Bubba and Erica. I know you're not here, but it's been an honor to serve with you as well, and just being a part of the community and the school, and feeling like we've made a big difference is something I'll treasure forever, and I look forward to serving in other ways as I move away from the board. But thank you all very much.
Richard?
Well, we've all said so many things here, and I think so many of them were similar because we feel that way as a large group. And it's certainly been a privilege for me to have worked with Erica and Mark and Ron and our new gentleman, Dustin. It's a position I think a person should be proud of, and I think all these people are. I would like to, again appreciate and thank you, Blair, for your new title, and Mr. Acton for the care that you've given us in situations that aren't normal. But we see great things, I think, for us. I'd like to still welcome the new members. I think we've all said almost the same thing about all of you, but we feel that way seriously. And we welcome you, and I think you'll have fun growing into the position. It's been a crazy year,
Yes.
but I think we made the best of it.
Yes, I think some of you four will be glad not to see texts from me in the middle of the night on Saturdays and Sundays, and some of the new board members have already started getting those. But it's been a pleasure to work with all of you. Bubba fights for kids every day. Erica was our policy specialist. Ron was, our business side of it, and kept us tracking. Dustin, you had that elementary background that kind of rounded us out. And I feel like we've made some, we talked about Blair, which was a great addition tonight, but we also added a counselor that 2 years ago when I came on the board, that we needed more counselors and whatnot, and this board has gotten that done. We also added 3 custodians tonight, which is huge for our school corporation right now. So great things are happening. You guys have been a part of a great team, I feel like. We hired calls himself the Jackwagon, but he's been solid for us through these trying times. We appreciate you too, John. And if that's all we have, we appreciate each one of you coming out. Look forward to next month with the new board members. Mark isn't here. Mark's recouping as well. Should be healthy by next week. Our next meeting is January the 11th. We'll probably start at 5:30. We'll have some time to get you guys caught up and get rolling. Anything from anybody else? Any last thoughts? No? Gotcha. All right. So, Bubba, Erica?
Just prayers for Mr. Acton. Continued, hopefully, improvement in his health. I mean, health is something that I think at times we all take for granted. I sure didn't think that I would ever come down with COVID either, but I did. And I know Richard's been battling some things with his health as well. Just to continue to pray for those that are struggling with any kind of illness. Because I believe there's power in prayer, and I think there's power in that. And hopefully everyone can recover and move forward. Thank you once again for all the kind words out for sure.
Okay, our next meeting will be January the 11th. Can I get a motion to close the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Becky makes a motion. Richard seconds. All those in favor, raise your hand.